Hello everyone. So today we will be taking up the topic of money laundering and terror financing, and we will be dealing with the basic fundamentals of what money laundering is all about. Okay, and what is the framework in India to deal with the legal framework in India which is present to deal with this whole problem of money laundering, and how money laundering and the various associated activities are impacting the security situation of our country. So basically, it is a very complex problem, money laundering. But if you want to understand it in simple terms, then it is the process of converting black money into white money. And how is black money generated? Black money is always generated through criminal activities. Through criminal activities, those criminal activities could be small criminal activities, or they could be even very high ranking criminal activities, such as serious crimes like drug trafficking or any kind of economic fraud activities, or wherein the criminals they try to evade the tax authorities and they want to evade taxes. So all such kinds of criminal activities, they would generate black money, and the process of converting this illegal black money and to show it as white money, that is called as money laundering. So money laundering, if it is happening in small scale, then the process could be very simple, that even the black money that is generated could be then channelized into and shown as white money by buying property, or you can say expensive goods and other financial services. So you can invest this black money into buying assets such as property, or you can channelize or invest this black money into buying other expensive goods and financial services, or you can invest it in buying gold. So it could be a simple process also, or if you are involved in a very high rank criminal activity, then even this money laundering can happen in various stages. Okay, this money laundering activity could happen in various complicated stages, where the money is layered. First of all, it is introduced into the mainstream economy. Okay, then it is layered into the mainstream economy so that the illegitimate source of this black money cannot be traced, and these criminals could evade the tax lenses, or they can avoid the government regulation. So basically, it could be a very simple process also, and it could be a very complicated process involving a lot of stages, wherein ultimately this black money generated from the illegitimate source is first of all involved, or formed or shown part of the mainstream economy, and then it is used in other for other ulterior purposes. So basically, it's not just an Indian problem or a domestic problem. It is a worldwide problem. It's like you can just understand it in this way, that there is an entire parallel economy, or you can say a black economy, which is running behind the mainstream economy, and that black economy is running because of this process of money laundering. And this money laundering is estimated to form 3 to 5% of the world GDP. So you can understand the extent of the problem, and it is a worldwide problem. So basically criminals ही होते हैं, high rank criminals होते हैं जो इस तरीके की activities में indulge करते हैं, and it could be up to a local level also, like small scale money laundering activities and high scale money laundering activities also. Okay, अब various जो stages क्या है money laundering के, एंड किस तरीके से मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग की जाती है अल्टीमेटली हाई लेवल पे, एंड देन व्हाट इज द एंटायर लीगल फ्रेमवर्क टू डील विद दिस प्रॉब्लम ऑफ मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग, दैट वी विल बी स्टडीइंग द लेटर स्लाइड्स. So basically, if you understand, it is the money laundering is concealing or disguising the identity of illegally obtained proceeds so that they appear to have originated from legitimate sources. Basically, you have the criminal who is engaging in the activity of money laundering. He wants to conceal or hide the identity of the source of that money from where it is generated. Okay, and basically it always forms a component of other much more serious crimes such as drug trafficking, जो इकोनॉमिक फ्रॉड एक्टिविटीज में एंगेज करके इलीगल पैसा कमाते हैं, या टैक्स एवेड करके इलीगल पैसा बचाते हैं, और या ड्रग ट्रैफिकिंग, अदर सच काइंड्स ऑफ हाई रैंक क्रिमिनल एक्टिविटीज में इन्वॉल्व होकर ब्लैक मनी जनरेट करते हैं. ऐसे लोग ही मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग करते हैं बेसिकली, टू हाइड द आइडेंटिटी ऑफ दैट ब्लैक मनी which is generated. Now, for instance, a drug trafficker is supposedly, okay, he might buy a restaurant to disguise the drug profits with legitimate profits of the restaurant, because what he has done, he has earned the black money. How did he introduce that black money as part, or and how he is showing it as white money? Because what he did, he bought a restaurant out of it. He bought a restaurant out of it. So as we had discussed that this could be a local level problem also and a high level problem also, depending on what is the extent of the criminal activity that you are engaging in. Some cases the problem is very complex and the money is layered, and it goes through a lot of channels, and then finally it is forms part of the main economy. And sometimes it is very easy. You just buy some small property, or you invest that black money in buying some goods or financial services, or you could just buy gold out of it. Okay, could just invest that black money into buying any gold or something. So Noble will ask the source of that money, that from where did you generate that black money, because now you have bought an asset out of it. So in this case also, if it's a drug trafficker who has earned a lot of illegal wealth by selling drugs or by engaging in drugs selling and buying, he can invest simply that money into buying a restaurant, and once he buys that restaurant, whatever profits he has earned from indulging in drug trafficking, he could show that he is earning those profits from this restaurant. So basically, this is how you hide the identity of black money, by including it as part of the mainstream economy, because no one would question a proper restaurant which is established and it is giving services to the people. So this way you somehow evade, or you somehow avoid the legal lens, or you can say you can avoid the government regulation over you. In this way, the drug profits are laundered basically through the restaurant to make the income look as if it was earned lawful. And how the criminal, what are the other activities that the criminals engage in? They can do also by buying, selling, and channeling these illegal funds through such things as property, expensive goods, and other financial services. Now, what are the main actors mainly who are involved or who indulge themselves in money laundering activities? Narco traffickers. Narco traffickers basically mean drug traffickers only. Kleptocrats are basically corrupt leaders. So also you have to understand that if there is a parallel economy which is running apart from this normal economy, there's an entire black economy which is running. This cannot happen without the support of the political class. Okay, so even these political class people, they are buying a lot of illegal, they are collecting a lot of illegal wealth. So what they will do out of this wealth, they can form a nexus with these criminals who are generating a lot of black money, and they can help these criminals to hide that black money through the activity of money laundering. So even the corrupt leaders, or kleptocrats as they are called, are involved in this process of money laundering in the same manner as the other people. So always there is a nexus between the political class and criminals. Only then can such a high profile activity of money laundering can take place. Okay. Then there are the transnational organized criminals also, like cross border terrorism, और ये सारे जो लोग होते हैं जो cross border terrorism और इस तरीके की चीजें में engage होते हैं, how they are able to manage such things across the border by engaging themselves in the money laundering activities, and also by promoting activities like economic terrorism, or you can say by involving in activities like terror financing and all that. So these are the three main kind of people who engage in money laundering activities. So there could be many other types of people also, but these are the three main kind of criminal class which is engaging itself in the money laundering activities. Now, how money laundering works, you have to understand. So we talked about that money laundering could be a very simple process also, and it could work in a very complicated manner also. Okay, and basically if you need to understand money laundering from the scratch, then you have to understand that it involves basically three steps: placement, layering, and integration. So we begin by what is placement. Now, first of all, that is this is the first stage. So if you have generated a lot of wealth, say by selling illegal drugs across the border, or you have engaged yourself in some kind of very big economic fraud. Okay, so how would you then hide that particular money? So first of all, you have to introduce that money into the legitimate financial system. You have to introduce that money into the legitimate financial system. And placement stage is one stage of the money laundering, which is the riskiest stage. Okay, that is the criminals, they face the highest risk in the placement stage of money laundering, because it is the stage where you introduce it into the legitimate financial system, so you could get caught also very easily. Okay, vast amount of money which is generated from an illegal source, either by drug dealing or any other kind of terrorist activity also. Because terror groups also, how these various kind of terror groups are operating, they are they are all functioning, they are all operating by the black money only. Okay, ड्रग डीलिंग करके और सारे करके लीगल एक्टिविटीज करके ये टेररिस्ट आउटफिट्स जो होते हैं ये सारा ब्लैक मनी पे ही चल रहा है। टेररिज्म का जितना भी ये नेटवर्क है, इट इज ऑल रनिंग ऑन द generation on the on the support of black money only. So these terrorist activity में engage करके या किसी भी तरीके से extortion करके कुछ भी करके जो आप other serious crimes में engage करके जो black money generate करते हो, first of all it has to be introduced into the legitimate financial system, or you can say the banking system. So it is placed into the financial system, or you can say the retail economy, or it is smuggled out of the country. Basically, the entire purpose of placement stage is to remove the cash which is generated, illegal cash, from the location of acquisition of that cash, and then it to transform it into other assets like property ले लिया या gold खरीद लिया या other किसी financial service में उसको expose कर दिया. अब this we will come to this picture later when we have discussed all the various stages of money laundering. Then we will come to this picture. So basically, this main sole purpose of the placement stage is to dispose the money which has been generated by the launderer. So they go far as depositing back in the financial institutions also, or spending in retail economy. They will buy bulk may, they will buy some kind of other goods, or they may invest this money in any kind of service or any kind of expensive goods and services में इसको invest कर सकते हैं, or to involve it in a business or acquisition of an expensive property or asset, or it could be even smuggled out of the country. So basically this is the placement stage where you have to just remove that cash which you have generated from the place of its origin, and just to introduce that cash into formal economy, you can say formal economy में आपको उसको introduce करना है. That you can do either by depositing small amounts of that money in various bank accounts. But this process basically of distributing this large amount into small denominations and then by depositing it in different bank accounts, if you have got access to such illegal bank accounts, this process is known as smurfing. So smurfing is basically a very prevalent technique wherein large amounts of money are distributed or divided into small denominations, so that no one has got so that no one comes to know about such large amounts of cash. And then this through process of smurfing, or by dividing it into multiple deposits and then depositing it in different bank accounts, no one can trace the original source or the illegitimate source of this black money. So this is one process which is involved in the process of placement, is also called as smurfing. Okay, so either to distribute it in small denominations, or involve, or channelizing or investing this particular money which is generated in any kind of business, so that it is shown that okay, the source of money is not revealed, or acquiring an expensive property out of that money, or any kind of asset like gold or anything, or smuggling it out of the country, are the various means wherein you are somehow just disclosing the trying to introduce that particular black money generated into the mainstream or formal economy. Okay, so then we talked about exchanging this currency which you have generated for smaller denominations, that will make it easier to utilize, transport, or conceal, to methods involving the use of multiple deposits, okay, which is called as smurfing. Now the second stage in the money laundering process is the stage of layering. Okay, once it has been introduced into the formal economy by any of these means that we have discussed above, after that you have to conceal the source of black money through a series of transactions, so that एक तो होता है फर्स्ट लेयर, उसके बाद लेयर पे लेयर आपको इस तरीके से क्रिएट करनी है, सो दैट इन एनी केस द actual source of that money cannot be traced. Okay, so launderer tries to hide or disguise the origin of the funds by creating complicated layers of financial transactions designed to cover the audit trail and to conceal it, so that even if anywhere in the future there is an audit trail, that audit trail cannot and ever come to the actual source of those funds. Okay, so it is basically to disguise or conceal the origin of funds by creating complicated layers of financial transaction, that is known as the second stage of layering. Layering serves to hide the source and ownership of the funds. ये तो हमने देख ही लिया. Methods used to accomplish layering are such as those of offset accounts by dealers. We know that there are a lot of illegal accounts which are opened by the various high worth individuals even outside the country. इवन आउटसाइड द कंट्री और ऑफशोर बैंक्स में, जहाँ पे बहुत ईजियर होता है पैसे को स्टोर कर पाना या पैसे को डिपॉजिट कर पाना, लाइक स्विस बैंक अकाउंट्स या अदर सच ऑफशोर अकाउंट्स में ओपन अपने अकाउंट्स करके उस पैसे को कहीं ना कहीं वो वहां पहुंचवा देते हैं या इलीगल ऑफशोर अकाउंट्स में डिपॉजिट करवा देते हैं, सो दैट द सोर्स कैन नॉट बी ट्रेस्ड. या ऑनलाइन इलेक्ट्रॉनिक फंड ट्रांसफर्स के थ्रू बिटवीन सर्टेन टैक्स हेवंस. टैक्स हेवंस आर वेरियस कंट्रीज, लाइक हमने देखा स्विट्जरलैंड बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट, बहुत ही कॉमन टैक्स हेवन है. देन मॉरिशस बहुत ही कॉमन टैक्स हेवन है. So there are such certain tax havens, that is those countries where in the tax laws are very loose. Tax laws are very loose, and these countries are those which are somehow inviting or attracting these criminals, wherein since their tax laws are very loose, so these criminals, they are using the tax laws or misusing the tax laws of those countries to deposit the illegal wealth in the form of offshore bank accounts. ऑफशोर बैंक अकाउंट्स में बहुत सारे बैंक अकाउंट से बाहर अपना इलीगल वेल्थ को डिपॉजिट करवा दिया. तो टैक्स सेविंग्स ऐसी कुछ कंट्रीज होती हैं जहाँ पे टैक्स लॉज बहुत लूज हैं, एंड क्रिमिनल्स जो है इसका मिसयूज करके ऑफशोर बैंक अकाउंट्स में ये इलीगल मनी को डिपॉजिट करवा देते हैं. या डाउटफुल गोल्ड ट्रांजैक्शंस में भी you can engage in the activity of layering. Large purchases of gold is done in the countries where VAT is less. So through all such kind of activities, or you can say series of transactions karke, you are just deleting the any kind of trail which would lead to your illegal money, okay, or the source of illegal money. This is the second stage. Now what is the third stage in the case of money laundering? So in that third stage is called as integration, whereas now the money is fully laundered. Now you cannot reach to the source of the illegal money. Now this new laundered money is withdrawn from the legitimate account to be used for criminal activities. The main whole purpose is this only: first of all, to introduce it into the formal economy, then to hide the source or conceal the source of this black money by engaging in the process of layering and by creating complicated layers of transactions, or you can say depositing it into offshore bank accounts outside the country, or by engaging in doubtful gold transactions also. और we saw in the case of layering कि किस तरीके से एक एक्सपेंसिव प्रॉपर्टी बाय कर ली या कोई असेट क्रिएट कर लिया और स्मगलिंग ही कर दी उस ब्लैक मनी की आउट ऑफ द कंट्री. सो ऑल सच एक्टिविटीज में करके नाउ it has been, or you can so some people may buy assets like we have seen an example where a drug trafficker easily buys a restaurant out of that black money, and then that profits are shown as the ones that they're generated from the restaurant and not from the illegal activity. So this is how ultimately then that black money is converted and shown as legitimate money, and then it is ultimately when it is reached that stage where no longer it is under the lens of the government, then that money is withdrawn from the legitimate account and it is used for further criminal activities. Okay, making the funds appear to be legally earned. Now, illegal funds, then they are returned to the economy and they are disguised as genuine income. So, this is the entire three complicated stages of money laundering. There are various kind of money laundering activities, as we have discussed. Small scale भी हो सकती हैं, large scale भी हो सकती हैं. जो large scale और complicated activities होती हैं उसमें basically इस तरीके के stages होते हैं. ऐसा simple तरीके से भी किया जा सकता है. Then we have talked about the process of smurfing also, which is uh, distributing or dividing this large chunk of money into small deposits. And if you have got access to different bank accounts, then by dividing it into small amounts, you can deposit these small amounts in different bank accounts, so that no one is able to trace the, and no one is able to have a doubt on this particular vast chunk of money that you have generated through illegal means. Then what are the common avenues which are used for money laundering in India? So India में basically कौन से methods हैं जिसके through money laundering successfully करी जाती है by criminals? The first method is the method of hawala. So hawala is basically an alternative parallel remittance system. Remittance system basically it means that if there is someone who is working in India and he has earned some kind of illegal wealth or anything like that, and he wants to remit it into some other country, then he would not you can say, engage in formal banking system. He would not want to send that through a formal banking system because that method is time consuming also, and it is very riskier method also. So if you are taking the help of the medium of hawala, then what would happen? How does this hawala thing works is basically, if you want to send money from A, okay, A's destination से B destination तक आपको money पहुंचवाना है, that A or B could be within the country also, it could be outside the country also, if there are two cities. So what you would do is, instead of engaging or sending this money through normal banking system, formal banking system से भेजने की बजाय, what you would do is that this person who has to send this money would come to a person X1, okay, and who would charge a little bit of commission from that money which has to be sent. X1 के पास आएगा, ये X1 जो एक हवाला का person है, he would charge some kind of interest or some kind of commission out of the money which has to be sent, and then he would send this money to another person X2, okay, to another person X2, and supposedly कि जिस person को amount भेजना था, उसके वो जो पर्सन है, then that person would go and approach this X2, and then he would get his money. So basically these X1 and X2 have dealt with each other the way they wanted to, and by deducting certain commission and everything, now this other person who wanted money from this person who is sending the money from city A to B, he has got this money indirectly through this person X2. तो बेसिकली ये तरीके का एक प्रोसेस होता है हवाला ट्रांजैक्शंस में, and here you are actually avoiding the formal channel of banking system. This particular bank charges जो होते हैं मनी सेंड करने के, उससे कम होते हैं हवाला के charges, and also it is much more speedier and cheaper way to send money. If you want to send money, any illegal source of money or any other source of money, if you want to send or remit into one country to another country or one city to another city, you can even take help from these havalas. So basically ये होता है हवाला का जो एक नेटवर्क काम कर रहा है, and it is avoiding the formal channel of banking. तो अगर illegal money है तो उसका source भी hide हो जाएगा, because formal channel of banking system is avoided in such kind of हवाला transactions. तो ये एक तरीके का एक हवाला है which is an alternative or parallel remittance system which is working in India. जिस तरह से एक two people are able to transfer money towards each other and to each other by even avoiding the formal channel of banking system. So हवाला नेटवर्क में क्या होता है, मनी इज नॉट मूव्ड फिजिकली, ठीक है. फॉर एग्जांपल अ टिपिकल हवाला ट्रांजैक्शन वुड बी लाइक अ रेसिडेंट इन यूएसए ऑफ इंडियन ओरिजिन doing some business who wants to send money to his relatives in India. The person has the option either to send money through formal channel of banking or through the hawala system. Commission in hawala is less than the bank charges, and it is without any complications of opening or visiting the bank, etc. The money reaches the doorstep of the person's relative, and the process is speedier and cheaper. So I just showed you that how after you want to send money A to B, you approach this hawala person who is running a hawala network. He will charge a certain commission from you as part from the part of money that you want to send, and that is even less than the bank charges. And he would give you a code. This code you would go and you would tell to this other person X2 with whom this person, the other person with whom you want to whom you want to give your money to, and when this person goes and tell to this other hawala person X2 your code, you will get your money. So there is no physical movement of the money, okay, but then your money is reaching and everything is happening, and that process is very speedy and cheaper. So this network or this hawala transactions are very popular as far as the process of money laundering in India is concerned. Now, the second very common method of money laundering or engaging in the activity of money laundering is the use of shell companies. What are shell companies? They are fake companies, and they exist for no other reason than to launder money. So basically एक normal एक company बना दी, and वो fake company है, उसका registration भी proper नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है, but क्योंकि company है, it's an established company, though it may be fake, but no one knows the origin of this company, so obviously it is acting as a very normal company only. So एक कंपनी, अगर एक फेक कंपनी के थ्रू आप किसी भी तरीके का डर्टी या इलीगल ट्रांजैक्शन करते हो, so no one would come to know about it, okay. So they take the dirty money as a payment for supposed goods or services, but they won't actually provide any goods or services, because if there is a company, then it should provide some goods or services, no, but that it would not do because it has been set up for the sole purpose of laundering money from one place to another place. तो इसलिए एक फेक कंपनी का स्टैब्लिश करा गया और उसमें पैसा इन्वेस्ट करके दिखाया जाएगा कि यू आर गिविंग द मनी so that you expect some goods or services, but then it ऐसा कुछ नहीं होगा because that's just a fake company, and they simply create the appearance of legitimate transactions because एक company अगर established company है in the eyes of law, then वो कोई भी तरीके का transaction carry out कर सकती है, no one would doubt it. So through fake invoices and balance sheets, they are indulging in lot of illegitimate transactions, but they show it as legitimate transactions only. So this is the role of shell companies. इस तरीके से भी बहुत सारे money laundering activities होते हैं. Then structuring deposits or the process of smurfing as we had talked about. The methods entails breaking up large amounts of money. Supposedly आपके पास 50 crores या कुछ money है, उसको छोटे छोटे amount में break up करके and deposit it in various bank accounts so that the trail of that vast chunk of money is broken up and it is divided into small amounts of money so that the original source of that money is not traced. Okay, then money is deposited and is broken into smaller, less suspicious amounts. Okay, because if you have large chunk of money, then obviously you would come under the scanner of law that from what is the source of that so much of money that you have generated. Okay, so source क्या है उस money का, आपका earning source क्या है, कहाँ से इतना पैसा आ रहा है. उस बड़े अमाउंट को वास्ट चंक अमाउंट को छोटे डिपॉजिट में कर दोगे तो देन यू विल दैट विल बिकम लेस सस्पिशियस एंड money then is deposited into one or more bank accounts either by multiple people or by a single person over an extended period of time so that no one is suspicious about from where this huge money is coming. If your earning is only this much, then from where are you generating this huge source of black money? It is hidden because it is broken into smaller, less suspicious amounts, and then it is deposited into one or more bank accounts if you have got access to bank accounts, either by multiple people who are known to you or by a single person. He could deposit it over an extended period of time and no one would ever doubt कि कहाँ से वो चीज आ रही है, कहाँ से वो इतना लार्ज चंक ऑफ पैसा आ रहा है. बिकॉज इफ लार्ज चंक होता है देन उस पर डाउट जाता है कि इतना पैसा कहाँ से आया. देन थर्ड पार्टी चेक्स के थ्रू भी, थर्ड पार्टी अकाउंट्स के थ्रू यू कुड एंगेज इन द एक्टिविटी ऑफ मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग. ठीक है. देन क्रेडिट कार्ड्स, क्लियरिंग द क्रेडिट कार्ड एंड charge card balances in the countries of different banks, you could engage in the activity of money laundering. So basically these are some of the methods which are common avenues for for engaging or for involving into the illegal activity of money laundering in India. Okay. Now, other money laundering act methods, they include investing in mobile commodities such as you would buy gems and gold or jewelry out of it so that it can easily move to other jurisdictions, discreetly investing it and selling in the valuable assets such as real estate. Real estate is one of the major avenues of black money, okay, and money laundering in India. देन गैम्बलिंग एक्टिविटीज में भी बहुत ज्यादा मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग का होता है. गैम्बलिंग में भी बहुत ज्यादा ब्लैक मनी, इलीगल मनी का यूज किया जाता है सो दैट रियल सोर्स का पता न लगे. एंड देन काउंटर फीटिंग ऑफ करेंसी में भी एंड क्रिएटिंग शेल कंपनी. सो दीज आर सम ऑफ द कॉमन एवेन्यूज जहाँ पे ब्लैक मनी को व्हाइट मनी में कन्वर्ट करके दिखाने के लिए ये बहुत ईजियर सोर्सेज होते हैं. लाइक हमने देखा जेम्स एंड गोल्ड खरीद लिया या वैल्यूएबल एसेट्स खरीद लिया, लाइक यू इन्वेस्टेड इन रियल एस्टेट, हमने एक बहुत जगह कहीं पे पॉश प्रॉपर्टी खरीद लिया कुछ भी. सो इन सच दीज डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ एवेन्यूज where the real estate, where this money laundering activity takes place in our country. गैम्बलिंग में भी हम देखते हैं कि गोवा वगैरह में जो कसिनोज होते हैं वहाँ पे हाई लेवल गैम्बलिंग्स होते हैं. तो गैम्बलिंग्स में आपने लाके वो सारा ब्लैक मनी इन्वेस्ट कर दिया so that the identity is concealed. Okay. Then nowadays the use of internet is also getting very prevalent as far as money laundering is concerned because internet allows money launderers to easily avoid detection. ऑनलाइन जो बैंकिंग इंस्टीट्यूशंस होते हैं, अनोनिमस ऑनलाइन पेमेंट सर्विसेज होती है, उनके थ्रू आप अपना इलीगल मनी यूज कर सकते हो. पीयर टू पीयर ट्रांसफर्स होते हैं यूजिंग मोबाइल फोन्स एंड यूज ऑफ वर्चुअल करेंसीज सच एज बिटकॉइन. दे हैव made detecting the illegal transfer of money ever more difficult. Use of proxy servers and anonymizing software makes the third component of money laundering integration almost impossible. So basically ये सारे टाइप के इंटरनेट के थ्रू किस तरीके से मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग प्रोलिफरेट कर रहा है. लाइक यूज ऑफ बिटकॉइंस. बिटकॉइंस हमको पता है दे आर कॉल्ड एज वर्चुअल करेंसीज. बिटकॉइन इज व्हाट? बिटकॉइन इज अ वर्चुअल करेंसी, meaning that it is not a real currency, it is a virtual currency एंड बिटकॉइन का एक बहुत बड़ा नेटवर्क ऑलरेडी चल रहा है जहाँ से बहुत सारे लीगल और इलीगल दोनों टाइप के काम किए जा रहे हैं, बिकॉज टू सोर्स द ओरिजिन ऑफ बिटकॉइंस इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट, बिकॉज इनका एक अपना एक आईपी एड्रेस पे बेस्ड एक पूरा एक डिफरेंट पैरामीटर्स पे बिटकॉइन का एक इकोनॉमी काम करता है, एंड बाय द यूज ऑफ दिस पैरेलल इंटरनेट इकोनॉमी जो बिटकॉइंस पे बेस्ड है और एक वर्चुअल करेंसी, इट इज नॉट इवन अ रियल करेंसी, सो यू कैन नॉट ट्रेस द ओरिजिन, बिकॉज इसका ओरिजिन ट्रेस करना भी अपने आप में कॉम्प्लिकेटेड प्रोसेस होता है. तो बाय यूजिंग दी सच मीडियम्स लाइक वर्चुअल करेंसीज ऑफ बिटकॉइंस एंड ऑल, money laundering activities are taking place, because money can be transferred by using Bitcoin. Okay, an IP address का कोई trace नहीं बचता है, तो it is very difficult to trace the origin of that illegal money, because here you are using virtual currency of bitcoins. Money can also be laundered through online auctions and sales. ठीक है, online auctions या sales में करके money laundering की जा सकती है, gambling websites में, and even virtual gaming sites and all, where ill-gotten money is converted into gaming currency and then it is transferred back into real, usable and untraceable clean money. बेसिकली अगर आप बहुत ज़्यादा हाई प्रोफाइल गेमिंग जोन्स में जाते हो और वहाँ पे आप गेमिंग के लिए करेंसी खरीदते हो, तो यू कैन यूज योर नॉर्मल मनी एंड देन यू कैन बाय द गेमिंग करेंसी, बिकॉज आप नॉर्मल नोट से या कॉइन से तो नहीं खेल सकते, वो गेमिंग का एक अपना ही करेंसी होता है. वी ऑल हैव इंडल्ज्ड इन दिस काइंड ऑफ गेमिंग वगैरह जोन्स में जहाँ हम जाते हैं, तो जहाँ हाई लेवल के गेमिंग जोन्स होते हैं वहाँ पे आप ये इलीगल मनी देके गेमिंग करेंसी खरीद लो, and gaming currency then obviously no one would doubt, because then you are using it for gaming purposes, and but ultimately वो जो आपने पैसा दिया है उस गेमिंग करेंसी को खरीदने के लिए, then ultimately then it is reused as you know illegal money, but it is shown as a clean money. So this is the entire, these are the various methods which are commonly used by the money launderers in India. Now, after discussing what is money laundering, what are the various methods of money laundering, stages of money laundering, now we will see, or we will study about the impacts of money laundering. That what are the various, if there is so much of complex activity going on, then what is its impact on economy, what is its social impact and political impact. So what is the economic impact of money laundering? It undermines the legitimacy of private sector. How? Because we have seen that various kind of shell companies or fake companies, private companies are formed to carry out illegitimate transactions, and they are shown as legitimate because obviously you are paying that company to provide goods and services, but obviously that motive of money launderers is not necessarily to make a profit out of operations of that company which they have generated to carry out illegal activities. If any money launderer is creating or forming a company of its own और शेल कंपनी फॉर्म करता है, देन ऑब्वियसली उसका ये मतलब नहीं है कि उस पर्टिकुलर कंपनी को प्रॉफिट पहुंचे. देयर ओन मोटिव इज जस्ट टू carry out illegitimate transactions by creating those shell companies. So इसलिए जो फ्रेंड कंपनीज या शेल कंपनीज का क्रिएशन होता है अंडर द प्राइवेट सेक्टर, इट लेजिटिमाइजेस, इट अंडरमाइंस द लेजिटिमेसी ऑफ प्राइवेट सेक्टर, ऑब्वियसली बिकॉज प्राइवेट सेक्टर इसीलिए कहीं ना कहीं उसकी इमेज अच्छी नहीं है, because there are a lot of fake and shell companies which are being formed by these money launderers to carry out their illegitimate transactions. Then undermines the integrity of financial markets also, because अगर ऐसा कोई country है जहाँ बहुत ज़्यादा money laundering का activity होता है, then obviously वहाँ पे reputational loss होगा उसके financial या banking institutions का, which will always reduce the confidence of the consumers in these affected financial institutions, who may be perceived to be involved in fraudulent activities. Because if you are somehow engaging in any kind of fraud activity or other kind of illegal money laundering activities, only then you will use these financial markets for your ulterior motives, and this undermines the integrity of financial markets also. The loss of control of economic policy, because obviously the economic policy has moved from the hands of the government and now it has reached the hands of criminals who are using or misusing the financial markets and the corporate sector for their own benefits. Loss of revenue also, because money laundering activity, what it is doing, because we have seen that even the people who are evading taxes, who are engaging in the activity of evasion of taxes, are also using this tax evaded money in illegal means, and then they are engaging in the activity of money laundering. So obviously these tax evaded जो funds होते हैं, that is obviously resulting in the decrease of tax funds for the economy and obviously for the government. Then government what it does as a result, because tax collection कम होता है and ये जो evaded tax है, it is being used illegally and it is then laundered, as a result of which the government may have to levy higher taxes in order to obtain the funds necessary, because government को तो funds चाहिए economy को चलाने के लिए, बट जो फंड्स दिए भी जा रहे हैं उन टैक्स फंड्स को अगर इवेड करके, जो एक्चुअल में टैक्स गवर्नमेंट डिजर्व करती है किसी सर्विस के लिए, अगर वो टैक्स को इवेड करके मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग कर दी जाएगी तो गवर्नमेंट के पास तो टैक्सेस नहीं पहुंच रहे हैं, बट गवर्नमेंट को फंड्स तो चाहिए, तो गवर्नमेंट व्हाट वुड डू देन, गवर्नमेंट वुड स्टार्ट अप्लाइंग हायर टैक्सेस, बिकॉज उतने फंड्स तो गवर्नमेंट को चाहिए। तो ये it is obviously leading to higher taxes in the economy also. Okay, volatility in exchange rates also, because we have seen that there are certain activities jahan pe laundered money is affecting the exchange rates also, and because that is distributed into smaller amounts and then introduced in the banking system, interest rates due to unanticipated transfer of funds, then obviously it affects trade and international capital flows also. Why? Because if there's a perception that a country has a poor track record of dealing with money laundering, why would some international, investor who is having lot of capital would invest in a country which has a very poor track record of dealing with money laundering? Because what this particular investor will think that if I invest money into a poor country where money laundering activity is so much high, then even my funds or even my capital would go waste, बिकॉज अगर इतना ज्यादा मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग है, इतना करप्शन है, तो ऐसी कंट्री में इन्वेस्ट करने का कोई फायदा नहीं है, बिकॉज देर आर नो गारंटीड रिजल्ट और देर इज नो गारंटीड रिजल्ट इन अ कंट्री जहाँ पे इतना ज्यादा मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग का प्रॉब्लम है। तो ऑब्वियसली कैपिटल कोई भी इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं करना चाहेगा ऐसी कंट्री में जहाँ ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड गंदा है मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग का, मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग ज्यादा होता है, बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली दैट इज अ वेस्ट ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट. It is seen to be a center for money laundering. The legitimate investors जो हैं, they will be careful in associating with any country that has a negative reputation. Obviously, because they will have this fear that even their money will be misused and even their money will get laundered in such a country. अगर यहाँ पे इतना बुरा हाल है, तो obviously it would reduce the investor confidence. It would reduce the investor confidence. So these are some of the basic economic impacts which the activity of money laundering is having on our country. Okay, then what are the social impacts of money laundering? Obviously it is increasing criminality, because it is giving the control of the economy from the right citizens and the government. It is giving the control of economy to the criminals. They are running their own parallel black economy, which is, and they are very successful even hiding the source of that black money which is generated. So they are running their own parallel black economy, which is obviously is not good for the right citizens of the country. Okay, it decreases human development of obviously misallocation of resources हो रहे हैं, because जो deserving citizens हैं, जो अपना honestly tax pay कर रहे हैं, उनको वो services नहीं मिल पा रही है, because there is a lot of tax which is getting evaded and lot of black wealth which is generated, which is actually then misused for other illegal activities. तो wealth तो generate हो रही है economy में, but it is not reaching the people and it is not reaching the needy and the real citizens of the country who are actually honest. But ये जो black wealth generate हो रही है, कहीं ना कहीं it is being used for other serious criminal activities, and thus it is leading to misallocation of resources also. Affect trust of the local citizens in their domestic financial institutions, because many a times even the banks themselves are willingly involved in the money laundering activities. And then banks हो गए, various जो casinos वगैरह हो गए, ठीक है, बहुत सारे रियल एस्टेट फॉर्म्स हो गए, कसिनोज हो गए, बैंक्स हो गए, एंड इवन द पॉलिटिकल क्लास और द पॉलिटिशियंस themselves are involved in high money laundering activities. So obviously that would erode the trust of the local citizens in these financial institutions or they are the political class. It declines the moral and social position of society by exposing it to activities such as drug trafficking. Obviously, अगर एक money laundering के illegal activity, जो अगर money laundering की कोई activity successful हो गई है, वो जो black wealth generated है, that has somehow avoided the lens of the government. Now, what is being done by using that black money? Drug trafficking हो रही है, smuggling हो रही है of illegal arms and weapons. Okay, illegal arms and weapons and illegal drugs are smuggled in and out of the country. So obviously the society is getting exposed to such illegal drugs and smuggling of arms and weapons, and corruption. Obviously it is directly impacting the corruption situation in the country and other criminal activities. अगर इतना पैसा इन criminals के हाथ में पहुंच रहा है by indulging in the activity of money laundering, then obviously even the other section of society is getting exposed to the illegal drugs and smuggling of arms and weapons and corruption. They have to face the corruption, okay, and other criminal activities. So this is one of the major social impact of money laundering. And what is the political impact? Obviously, if there are politicians which are involved and they have formed a nexus with these money launderers, then obviously it would also increase the criminalization of politics, because politics यहाँ पे जो है it is funded by the illegal wealth generated through the criminal activities. It initiates political distrust and instability, because in many cases there are the political class also which has formed a nexus with these money launderers and getting involved in money laundering activities. So obviously it is eroding the trust of the citizen towards the political class also. Now we will study further the steps which are taken by the government of India to prevent money laundering. Sorry for the interruption. There was a technical problem. So now we would begin with the steps which are taken by the government of India to prevent the money laundering, or what is, you can say, the legal framework to deal with the problem of money laundering in India. So basically, the first act or the legislation to deal with this problem is the Criminal Law Amendment Ordinance, which covers the proceeds of only certain crimes such as corruption, breach of trust, and cheating, and not all the crimes under the IPC. So basically, this Criminal Law Amendment Ordinance is focusing on these three areas: corruption. Obviously, there's a lot of corruption which happens because of money laundering, breach of trust, and cheating. So in particular, तीन activities के साथ एक criminal law amendment ordinance deal करता है, and it covers proceeds of these crimes, so that there's a focused attention which is being given to the activity of corruption and breach of trust and cheating. Up with smugglers and foreign exchange, because we saw that there's a lot of illegal smuggling which is promoted due to the activity of money laundering. There's a lot of you know there's a lot of illegal smuggling of arms and weapons, illegal smuggling of drugs and other things which are promoted if the money laundering takes place in our country. So obviously Smugglers and Foreign Exchange Manipulators Act भी पास किया गया था, and it covers penalty of illegal acquired properties of smugglers, those who are engaging in the activity of illegal smuggling and such other kind of activities which is actually taking place because of the laundered money. So it is then giving penalties to such people, foreign exchange manipulators जो होते हैं, and for matters which are connected therewith. Okay, then narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances also covers certain criminal activities associated with money laundering, as it provides penalty for property which is derived from or used in illegal traffic in narcotic drugs. Because basically we have seen that there are जो narco traffickers होते हैं, ये ज़्यादा money laundering और इन सारे activities में indulge होते हैं. तो Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act के through it will somehow provide penalty for the property which is derived from such illegal traffic in narcotic drugs, because ये narco traffickers का काम ही यही है कि illegal drug trade में involve होके उससे जो wealth generate होती है उससे कोई ना कोई property आप खरीद लेते हो या कोई ना कोई real estate में आप investment कर लेते हो. तो under the narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances, if you buy a property out of the illegal wealth which is generated by the illegal traffic in narcotic drugs, and that you will have to face a penalty on that property. So basically ये different kinds of steps हैं, different kind of laws हैं which are dealing with by imposing penalty on such activities which are promoted or which are flourishing because of the illegal money laundering activity. चाहे वो आप स्मगलिंग कर रहे हो उस illegal money से, आप चाहे आपने illegal smuggling करी, वो smuggling किसी भी चीज की हो सकती है, drug smuggling और illegal arms and weapons की smuggling कर रहे हो, but any such activity or any such acquired property which is flourishing because of the activity of smuggling which is in turn happening because of the illegal acquired money which is being laundered illegally. So these particular acts would deal and would impose a penalty on any such activity which is taking place. Then the core framework or the most important legislation which is dealing with the problem of money laundering in India is the Prevention of Money Laundering Act (PMLA), which was enacted in 2002, and it is the core of the legal framework which is put in India to combat money laundering. Provisions of this act, they are applicable to all the financial institutions, that is banks. Even RBI is under the ambit of PMLA, mutual funds, insurance companies, and their financial intermediaries. That is basically, even if any one of these financial institutions is indulging in the activity of money laundering, they are all under the framework of PMLA. That is, PMLA covers or has a wide coverage to include any one of these financial institutions who may indulge in the activity of money laundering. So, what is this act all about? It was enacted in 2002. Then there was an amendment done in 2012. An amendment which is done in 2012, it adds the concept of reporting entity, which would include a banking company, financial institution, or intermediary who was reporting about any such criminal activity or reporting about any such money laundering activity. PMLA 2002 levied a fine of up to 5 lakh on any such money laundering activity, but the amendment here to 2012 ka, it has removed this upper limit and it has provided for provisional attachment and confiscation of property also of any such person who is involved in such activities of money laundering. So if you are a person who is involved in money laundering activities, according to PMLA 2012, even your property might be confiscated and attached until and unless the trial is going on. And to a fine ka limit tha 5 lakh ka, even that upper limit is now removed, and you could be charged with even more fine if you are indulging in any such kind of activities, depending on the intensity of the criminal activity that you are indulged in. Now this fine is not just limited to 5 lakh, that limit has been removed, and depending on the criminal activity, your fine may be even higher than 5 lakh. Okay, so इस तरीके से strengthen करा गया है basically with time PMLA को, so that the money laundering activity can be combated successfully. Then the other institution which is in place to fight the problem of money laundering is the Enforcement Directorate, and it is a law enforcement agency and economic intelligence agency which is responsible for enforcing economic laws and fighting economic crime in India. Main function is to investigate the offences of money laundering under the provisions of PMLA 2002, and it can take actions like confiscation of property if the same is determined to be of the proceeds of the crime which is derived from schedule offence under the PMLA, and to prosecute the persons who are involved in the offence of money laundering. So basically ED, बहुत सारा ED का भी coverage बहुत wide है, सारे type of illegal जो भी criminal activities होती हैं जिनसे illegal funds generate होते हैं, वो सारा कुछ ED भी एक तरीके से cover करता है. And obviously confiscation of property is also one of the main provisions under the ED. Now there is another agency which is which is set up by the Government of India, the Central National Agency, responsible for receiving, processing, analyzing, and disseminating any kind of information which is relating to suspect financial transactions. Okay, so it is keeping an eye, or it's keeping an eye on all the kinds of suspicious financial transactions, because we have seen that in money laundering, in the second stage of layering, there are a lot of complicated and complex financial transactions which are taken place by these money launderers to hide the source of illegitimate money. So financial intelligence unit का काम होता है to keep a watch or keep an eye on all such suspicious financial transactions, so that money laundering का जो chain है उसको break किया जा सके. So this is the work of financial intelligence unit. We will be discussing it in detail in the next lecture. So till now we have discussed about the entire problem of money laundering and what are the various mediums through which, or common avenues of money laundering in India, whether it was the your havalas or shell companies, or जो smurfing का process होता है, उस किस तरीके से स्मर्फिंग का प्रोसेस यूज करके मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग होता है, थर्ड पार्टी चेक, क्रेडिट कार्ड्स के थ्रू मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग किया जाता है. ठीक है, जिसमें सबसे ज्यादा जरूरी इंपॉर्टेंट और जो बेसिक प्रोसेस है वो स्मर्फिंग का होता है. स्मर्फिंग इज वेरी इजी प्रोसेस आल्सो. जस्ट डिस्ट्रीब्यूट और डिवाइड दी, ब्रेक अप दी लार्ज चंक ऑफ मनी, सो दैट किसी का डाउट ना जाए कि इतना सारा पैसा कहाँ से आया, इनटू स्मॉलर अमाउंट्स, and then depositing it in one or more bank accounts by multiple people so that आपका chain break हो जाए और डाउट ना जाए इतनी वास्ट चंक ऑफ मनी में. So basically these are various different mediums used by the money launderers. Then we discussed about the various stages of money laundering जहाँ पे हमने देखा कि कोई भी illicit activity को carry out करने के लिए first of all placement की जाती है, disposal किया जाता है actually bulk cash का, then layering की जाती है, various transaction में multiple transfers carry out किया जाता है, then ultimately it is shown as a legitimate income when it is integrated. Okay, so basically ये तीन हमने stages देखे मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग के. ठीक है, हमने देखा कि किन कौन कौन से टाइप के एक्टर्स होते हैं जो मेनली इन्वॉल्व होते हैं और कौन कौन से कॉमन एवेन्यूज हैं, कैसे इंटरनेट का और बिटकॉइंस वगैरह का वर्चुअल करेंसीज का यूज करके मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग किया जा रहा है. देन व्हाट आर द वेरियस इकोनॉमिक, सोशल एंड पॉलिटिकल इम्पैक्ट्स ऑन मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग. ठीक है, इकोनॉमिक इम्पैक्ट कैसे प्राइवेट सेक्टर पे पड़ता है बिकॉज देयर आर लॉट ऑफ फ्रंट एंड शेल कंपनीज व्हिच आर यूज्ड बाय दीज money launderers to carry out their illegitimate activities. देन फाइनेंशियल मार्केट्स में किस तरीके से ट्रस्ट कहीं ना कहीं कंज्यूमर्स का कम हो जाता है. देयर आर financial institutions which are involved in money laundering, loss of revenue obviously for the government as a whole because tax evasion hota hai as part of money laundering, and obviously then government has to charge higher taxes from the citizens only, and as a result that is the citizens who are suffering because of this black economy which is running on the principle of money laundering. फिर हमने एक्सचेंज रेट पे उसका इफेक्ट देखा, ट्रेड एंड इंटरनेशनल कैपिटल फ्लोज पे देखा दैट why will any international investor who has lot of capital invest in a country जहाँ पे money laundering का इतना ज़्यादा problem है, because obviously its own assets then come into doubtful category. So इस तरीके के हमने social और political और economic impacts देखे money laundering के. then उसके बाद हमने framework देखा, legal framework which is there in place to deal with this whole problem of money laundering, whether it is PMLA or these various kinds of legislations, and then other ED और financial intelligence unit को हमने थोड़ा discuss किया which we will carry forward in our next lecture.